Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cinema Intel. Today, we will be talking about the most expensive TV shows ever made. These shows are all incredibly ambitious, with huge budgets allowing them to create some of the most visually brilliant and groundbreaking television ever seen. But are they worth it? Are these shows actually good enough to justify their massive price tags? That's what we're going to be exploring in this video. We'll take a look at the 10 most expensive TV shows ever made, and we'll see if they're actually worth your time. So if you're curious about the most expensive TV shows ever made, or looking for something good to watch, then stick around. The Witcher, $10 million per episode. The Witcher was originally a series of books by Andrzej Sapkowski, and it was later made into a video game by CD Projekt Red. The game was a huge success, and it helped to introduce The Witcher to a wider audience. The show follows the story of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter for hire as he journeys through the continent, a land of magic and danger. Season 1 of The Witcher was released in 2019 and was a critical and commercial success. The show was praised for its action sequences, visual effects, and performances. The Witcher is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a budget of around $10 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some cool visuals, including the battle against the Kikimora in the first episode. Season 1 of The Witcher also introduced us to some of the show's most iconic characters, including Geralt of Rivia, Henry Cavill, Yennefer of Vengerberg, Anya Chalotra, and Ciri Freya Allan. If you're a fan of fantasy, action, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out The Witcher. The Last of Us, $11.1 million. The Last of Us is a post-apocalyptic drama series based on the video game of the same name by Naughty Dog. The show follows the story of Joel Miller, a smuggler tasked with escorting the teenage Ellie across a post-apocalyptic United States. The Last of Us is set 20 years after a pandemic caused by a mass fungal infection, which causes its hosts to transform into zombie-like creatures and collapse society. Joel is a hardened survivor who has seen the worst of what the world has to offer, but he is tasked with protecting Ellie, a young girl who may be the key to a cure. The Last of Us is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a budget of $11.1 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some excellent visuals, including the depiction of the post-apocalyptic world. The Last of Us also features some excellent performances, including Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. The show has been praised for its emotional depth, its storyline, and its brilliant visuals. If you're a fan of post-apocalyptic stories, then you should definitely check out The Last of Us. The Boys, $11.2 million per episode. The Boys is a satirical superhero drama series based on the comic book of the same name by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. The show follows the story of a group of vigilantes who set out to take down corrupt superheroes. With a cost of $11.2 million per episode, The Boys makes the list as one of the most expensive TV shows ever made. This allowed the show to create great visuals, including the depiction of the superheroes' powers. The Boys also features some excellent performances, including Carl Urban as Billy Butcher, Jack Quaid as Huey Campbell, and Anthony Starr as Homelander. If you're a fan of superhero stories, satire, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out The Boys. It's a great show that will keep you entertained from beginning to end. The Mandalorian, $15 million. The Mandalorian is a space western television series created by Jon Favreau for the streaming service Disney+. The series is set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi and follows the travails of a lone bounty hunter in the outer reaches of the galaxy. The Mandalorian is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a cost of $15 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some truly stunning worlds, including the depiction of the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian also features some excellent performances, including Pedro Pascal as the titular character, and Gina Carano as Cara Dune. The show has been praised for its action sequences, its visual effects, and its world building. Game of Thrones, $15 million. Game of Thrones is a fantasy drama series based on the novels of the same name by George R.R. Martin. The show follows the story of several noble families in the fictional realm of Westeros as they vie for control of the Iron Throne. Game of Thrones is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a cost of $15 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some excellent visuals of the Seven Kingdoms of Westeros. Game of Thrones also features some excellent performances, including Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen, Kit Harington as Jon Snow, and Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. The show has been praised for its complex characters, its political intrigue, and its epic scope. If you're a fan of fantasy, political drama, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, $20 million. House of the Dragon is a fantasy drama television series based on the novel Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. The show is set 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones and tells the story of the Targaryen family, who ruled Westeros for centuries. House of the Dragon is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a cost of $20 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some stunning visuals of the Targaryens' dragons. House of the Dragon also features some excellent performances, including Matt Smith as Prince Daemon Targaryen, Olivia Cooke as Alicent Hightower, and Paddy Considine as King Viserys Targaryen. The show has been praised for its visuals, its performances, and its potential to be a worthy successor to Game of Thrones. Loki, $23.5 million. The show follows Loki as he is apprehended by the Time Variance Authority, TVA, a bureaucratic organization that monitors the timeline. Loki is forced to work with the TVA to stop a threat to the timeline, but he soon finds himself caught up in a mystery that could have major implications for the future of the TVA. With a cost of $23.5 million per episode, Loki is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made. This allowed the show to create some great sets, including the depiction of the TVA's headquarters. Loki also features some excellent performances, including Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Owen Wilson as Mobius M. Mobius, and Gugu Mbatha-Raw as Ravonna Renslayer. The show has been praised for its humor, its action sequences, and its exploration of the nature of time. If you're a fan of the MCU, Tom Hiddleston, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out Loki. Stranger Things, $30 million. Stranger Things is a science fiction horror drama television series created by the Duffer Brothers for Netflix. The series follows a group of friends in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, who investigate the disappearance of their friend Will Byers amid supernatural events occurring around the town, including the appearance of a girl with psychokinetic abilities named Eleven. Stranger Things is one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, with a cost of $30 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some truly brilliant visuals, including the depiction of the Upside Down, a parallel dimension that is home to many of the show's creatures. Stranger Things also features some excellent performances, including Millie Bobby Brown as Eleven, David Harbour as Jim Hopper, and Winona Ryder as Joyce Byers. The show has been praised for its suspense, its horror elements, and its 1980s nostalgia. If you're a fan of science fiction, horror, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out Stranger Things. It's a great show that will keep you hooked from beginning to end. Citadel, $50 million. Citadel is a spy thriller television series created by Josh Applebaum, Brian O., and David Weil for Amazon Prime Video. The series stars Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra Jonas as Mason Kane and Nadia Sin, respectively, two top agents of the independent spy organization Citadel. The show follows Kane and Sin as they collide with a nefarious new syndicate known as Manticore, leading to a catastrophe that erases their memories. 8 years later, Kane is living a quiet life as Kyle Conroy, until an old colleague asks for his help to stop Manticore from creating a new world order. Citadel cost of $50 million per episode. This allowed the show to create the depiction of the Citadel headquarters and the Manticore Syndicate. Citadel also features some excellent performances, including Richard Madden as Mason Kane, Priyanka Chopra Jonas as Nadia Sin, and Stanley Tucci as Bernard Orlick. The show has been praised for its action sequences, its suspenseful story, and its world building. If you're a fan of spy thrillers, action, or just well-made TV shows, then you should definitely check out Citadel. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, $58 million. The Rings of Power is an American fantasy television series based on the novels of J.R.R. Tolkien. The series is set during the Second Age of Middle-earth, thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. The show follows the story of the forging of the Rings of Power, the rise of Sauron, and the last alliance of elves and men. It stars an ensemble cast including Morfydd Clark as Galadriel, Robert Aramayo as Elrond, and Markella Kavanagh as Eleanor Brandyfoot. The Rings of Power is the most expensive TV show ever made, with a cost of $58 million per episode. This allowed the show to create some truly excellent visuals, including the depiction of Middle-earth and the Rings of Power. The Rings of Power is also expected to be one of the most popular TV shows ever made. The show has already generated a lot of excitement among fans of the Lord of the Rings franchise. If you're a fan of fantasy, then you should definitely check out The Rings of Power. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 10 most expensive TV shows ever made. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more great content. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the shows I mentioned. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.